is common for a pipeline right-of-way to run into property line fences. When the right-of-way cuts across a fenced property line, the fencing should be cut away and gapped. This creates a temporary gate that the pipe crew can open and close as needed, but will keep livestock from escaping the fenced area. The crew that performs this task is the fence gang, which is made up of 3 or 4 pipeline laborers. The fence gang can determine the width of the right-of-way using the ditch stake and the measurements from the blueprints or specifications. The fence gang starts at the kickoff and cuts and gaps all of the fencing that interferes with the right-of-way path. The fence gang goes to work after the ditch line is marked, but before the right-of-way is cleared. When a property line fence goes straight across a right-of-way, gaps are built. To properly build a gap, start by measuring and marking the old fence cut areas, and then begin clearing any overgrowth around the old fence. Next, begin building a brace on the outer sides of the right-of-way, one for the ditch side and one for the working side. Fence wire is then strung out between and attached to the braces. Barbed wire is most often used. Use 2x2 laths or metal stays between braces to keep the wire apart when using strains of barbed wire. Place a latching post at the end of the gap near the H-brace on the working side of the right-of-way. This will be used to fasten the gap to the H-brace. If the right-of-way is very wide, a split gap should be constructed that divides the width of the right-of-way into 2 gaps. A center post is then placed near the middle of the right-of-way, about 15 feet from the ditch line on the working side. Gaps are then built extending from both sides of the right-of-way to the center post. The center post is used to hook or unhook each gap when needed. Sometimes a fence angles across the right-of-way. A hard angle means you must build a gap and offset the fence. Start by placing cut marks on both sides of the right-of-way at the point at which the old fence intersects. At the first cut mark on the old fence, build an L-brace. From that L-brace post, measure straight across the right-of-way. Now build an L-brace on the other end of the right-of-way that will be used for the gap and offset fence. The L-brace end posts should line up with both the straight across first cut mark and the second cut mark on the old fence. With 2 braces built straight across the right-of-way, you can now construct a gap between them. An L-brace is constructed at the second cut mark on the old fence, with the end posts lining up with the old fence at the second cut mark, and the L-brace at the end of the gap. Posts required for the offset fence should be placed between the 2 L-braces. The wire for the offset fence should be pulled between the 2 L-braces, where it is fastened to the braces and posts as you would when constructing a regular fence. The angled existing fence should now be cut and removed. Check with the property owner to see if some of the old torn-down fence can be cut and rolled back. With his permission, you may then hang the rolled wire on the fence post.